Alright, let's do this. Wait a minute. You know what? I haven't changed the playmat in a hot minute. Hang tight. Okay, that's a little bit better. I don't think I've ever used this playmat for a video, so let's do it. Hey, anyways, though, welcome back to the channel. It's Stupid here, and today we're going to take a look at yet another Radiant Eternatus deck. This one is actually kind of an upgrade for your Shadow Rider Calyrex League battle decks. So we are going to dive into that. So yeah, if you have bought a Shadow Rider Calyrex League battle deck, this is probably the best video for you to make that the most relevant it can be going into the current format. So of course, let's start off with the Radiant Eternatus. We've seen it before on the Vikavolt Regieleki deck profile from a few weeks ago, which did a little bit better than I thought it was going to do. I had a lot of fun playing that. I still enjoy it. I have it together still. I just have to move the Eternatus back and forth. I am a cheap piece of crap, and I can't afford more than one. But if you want to help me afford more than one, don't forget to become a member of the channel for as low as 99 cents a month to support content like this. Anyways, though, Radiant Eternatus has the ability Climactic Gate. When you play this from your hand to your bench during your turn, you can search your deck for 2 Pokemon VMAX and put them onto your bench. If you use this ability, your turn ends. So that's the whole reason it's in here. It's a one of. We want to find it as fast as possible, preferably turn 1. Going first is really cool. That way we can get some Shadow Riders in play and start doing our thing. So yeah, we have 1 copy of Radiant Eternatus. And then we are playing a 2-4 line of Shadow Rider. We'll look at the V really quick. 210 HP. This thing has Shadow Mist for 1 Psychic and does 10 damage during your opponent's next turn. They can't play any Special Energy or Stadium cards from their hand. This is really good against a various amount of different archetypes. It's really good in general. So if they play against like a little single prize Zoroark box, they don't have any other like basic energy, so they only play specials. You just Shadow Mist them out of the game, and bada boom, bada bing. Then Astral Barrage for 3 colors. Choose 2 of your opponent's Pokemon and put 5 damage counters on each of them. So it's a really good spread. Finish your attack. There is another Shadow Rider Calyrex Basic V. It's a promo, but it's pretty awful. So you're just going to play 2 of these. And in your deck, if you have the League Battle deck, you get a 3-3 line. So ultimately, you just need 1 more VMAX. And they're really cheap, too. So this is definitely a budget banger to keep that in mind. So yeah, we're rocking a 2 of the V and 4 of the VMAX. Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, 320 HP with the ability Underworld Door. This thing is absolutely insane. It was a big bully when it first came out in Standard. Underworld Door allows you to attach a Psychic Energy from your hand to one of your benched Pokemon that are Psychic type, specifically Psychic. If you do that, you draw 2 cards. So for every Shadow Rider you have in play, you get extra energy cards and you're drawing cards, so your hand's getting pretty thick. The attack on this thing is Max Geist for 3 colorless, aka 3 Psychic. Does 10 plus 30 more damage for every Psychic Energy attached to all your Pokemon. Think of it like Dark Pulse on Darkrai. Just absolutely cracked. So we got 4 of those. So yeah, a 4-2. And again, you cheat the VMAX into play with Radiant Eternatus. That's why we're only playing a 2-4. In terms of another VMAX, we are playing a 1-1 line of Espeon V and VMAX in here. We'll start with the V real quick. 200 HP on this thing. Was Zen Shot for 1 Psychic Energy. Does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon V. So you can just snipe 60 wherever you need to, and then you have Super Side Bullet for Psychic Double Colorless for 120. You're never going to use that, but sometimes the Zen Shot comes in the clutch. And of course, we have 1 copy of the VMAX, 310 HP, and this thing is in here primarily for its ability Solar Revelation. Prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to all of your Pokemon that have energy attached. So you're going to have a lot of energy in play. And, you know, say they have an attack that's like Item Lock, or, well, the Item Lock isn't for you. Let me rephrase that. They have an attack that paralyzes you, or poisons you, or puts you to sleep. This will prevent that from happening. So this is really good against Weezing. It's really good against Articuno. So a lot of things in the meta that could be problematic. And then you do have a decent attack on here, Max Mindstorm. It does 60 times the amount of energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon for 3 Psychic. In this case, you know, it's Psychic Double Colors, but you're only playing Psychic Energy in here as a Psychic type deck. So yeah, Max Mindstorm, so they have like 10 energy in play. You're doing 600 damage. Absolutely crazy. So just keep that in mind. This is a good finisher as well. But yeah, so you play for the ability, and it's a good attacker. Continuing on, we have 3 copies of Mysterious Tail Mew from Celebrations. When it's in the active spot, look at the top 6 cards of your deck and find an item there and put it into your hand. This is going to help you get to that Radiant Eternatus, hopefully faster on turn 1, and it's a better starter than any of the other Vs in here, so it just gives us another good Pokemon to start with. We do have a single copy of Galarian Articuno from Evolving Skies for the ability Cruel Charge. When you play it from your hand to your bench, you can attach 2 Psychic Energy from your hand to it. So you can charge it up pretty quick. It's extra damage for Calyrex, as well as the attack Psylaser. Discard all Psychic Energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 120 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's a good finisher. So say like you missed, I missed like, 100 damage or whatever. You can slap this down, get energy on it. You can use Underworld Door to the 3rd one, bring it up into the active, and then snipe that last KO into submission. And this is a card that's included in the Shadow Rider battle deck, so I wanted to include it in this list specifically. Last 2 Pokemon just support as well. We have one copy of Crobat for Dark Asset, bench it down, and draw on, so you have 6 cards in your hand. And then, of course, we have the Drapion to deal with Single Strike, Rapid Strike, and most importantly, Fusion Strike, so you can just come in and Dynamic Tail for free on an opponent's Pokemon VMAX. In this case, you want to hit Mew and take it out for weakness and take 3 prize cards to swing that tide into your favor a little bit. I feel like the camera's got a mind of its own right now, and it wants to, like, move around. What are we doing? What are you doing, camera bro? All right, supporters. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to start speeding this up. We have 2 copies of Research, 2 copies of Marnie, 2 copies of Serena, and 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Gusting / discard, draw, shuffle your hand, put them on the bottom deck. I feel like I go over these cards every single profile, but by now, if you're here and you've been watching, you should know what these cards do. They come in most of your decks. Anyways, you'll have to get some Serenas, but again, everything in here you're going to be picking up to add to your Shadow Rider deck is pretty cheap. Item cards, we've got 4 copies of Quick Ball, discard cards, search for a basic Pokemon. 4 Ultra Balls, discard 2 cards, search for any Pokemon. We've got 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball. If you prize the Eternatus, you want to find this potentially from your Mysterious Tales and get it into play, and that way you can use Climactic Gate. Continuing on, we've got 4 copies of Fog Crystal. This lets you search for a Psychic Energy or a Psychic Pokemon, basic specifically, and put it in your hand. So again, you can grab everything from your Espeon V, the Shadow Rider V, the Muse, the Articuno, and just get them into your hand. Or if you need an energy card, that also works out in your favor. We have 3 copies of Scoop Up Net to pick up our single prize Pokemon and reuse them. Eternatus, Mew, Galarian Articuno. So Articuno is an awful starter, but if you have Scoop Up Net, you're good. Same with the E-Turn. Get it up out of play. Make more room on your bench for your VMAXs or support Pokemon. And then in terms of switching, we do have 1 basic just switch card and 2 Air Balloon to reduce retreat costs by 2. Everything in here has a 2 retreat costs or less. Radiant E-Turn even has a 2 retreat costs, so Air Balloon helps you get that pivot if you don't have the Scoop Up Net for it. A little bit of recovery, we have 1 copy of Ordinary Rod. You can shuffle in 2 Pokemon or 2 basic energy from your discard pile back in your deck. So helps you reuse pieces that may have gotten discarded or knocked out that you need. For damage modification, we of course have 2 copies of Choice Belt. You swing in for 30 more damage onto opposing Pokemon V, V-Star, VMAX, V-Union, whatever. And the last item card is a copy of For Sealstone. And then, in the future, this won't be an item card anymore, so you won't be able to grab it with Mysterious Tail, but you still can for now. This basically just gives you the access to Star Alchemy on any of your Pokemon V, helps you search for any card you need. So turn 1, potentially, you could have a V and you're like, oh crap, I can't find my E-Turn. That's fine. You can slap this onto something for a Sealstone, search for it with Star Alchemy into the Eternatus, or a later game like you need Boss, Serena, you need Scoop Up Net, whatever. This is your one of Find It piece. We have 2 copies of Training Court for our Stadium of Choice. Once during each player's turn, they can get a basic energy and put it from their discard pile into their hand. So again, you get that psychic energy back in your hand, and then you can Underworld Door and then draw cards. It just kind of keeps the engine flowing and moving along. And then finally, we have 12 copies of basic psychic energy. Nothing too fancy, not too many, not too little, just enough, I feel like, especially with the rods and the ability that you can search for them with Fog Crystal. But this is the list. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, smash the notification bell, do all those things that help YouTube know that people should watch the content on the channel. It really does do a lot more than you think it does. So if you have just like a couple seconds of your day to leave a comment and smash the like button, I would appreciate that very, very much. This deck's a lot of fun, and again, it's pretty cheap. You could probably buy your League Battle deck for about 30 bucks as MSRP. Radiant E-Turn is a couple dollars. Espeon is a little bit. I want to say Espeon V and VMAX Taylor's going to run you about $10 USD. Crobat and Drapion should be both pretty cheap. The Muse should be super cheap. Another VMAX is going to run you $1 or $2. Serenas are probably 25 cents. Scoop up nets are $1 a piece on average anymore. 4 Steel Stones is a couple bucks. So you could build this deck for under $50 with a little bit of clever trading and shopping. Because a lot of the stuff that you're getting in this list is already going to come in your League Battle deck. So consider that up as just a really good upgrade to bring it up to life. If you're getting into the game, probably a fun deck to play with and get used to and learn about different mechanics like V-Star Powers, VMAXs, and the Radiant Pokemon and all that kind of stuff before rotation happens in April. Of course, rotation content is going to come eventually. I just haven't bought an ink for proxies yet. It's an expensive process. If you'd be okay with deck profiles on like Pokegear or wherever else, let me know down below and I'll make them happen sooner than later. There's a bunch of deck lists I do want to cover that I've seen in Japan that are all post-rotation, and as well a few that I've like started to cook up on my own. So I'm excited for the future of the game and the format. And of course, don't forget to follow on all the socials. They're all linked down below. Doing a little bit of variety streaming over on Twitch again. So come hang out for a lot kind of stuff. Fun times over there. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you all in the next one. Much love and peace out.
Are you sure about that?